What if your dreams weren't just reflections but invitations? Every night, without fail, you are transported beyond time, beyond form, into a realm sculpted by thought, memory, and spirit. A realm where gravity obeys willpower, where doors appear from nowhere, and where the laws of physics surrender to the laws of consciousness. Yet most of us sleep through this sacred journey, unaware that we've entered a temple older than time itself. This is the dream world, but not all dreams are equal, and not all dreamers are asleep. There exists a rare breed, those who awaken within the dream, who realize they are not just drifting passengers, but conscious navigators in an infinite sea of symbols and shifting landscapes. These are the lucid dreamers, and they are not new. Mystics from Egypt, shamans from the Andes, yogis in Himalayan caves all whispered of the same art. The ability to wake up inside the dream, to travel, to communicate with archetypes, to confront shadows, and even to receive divine instruction. But in the modern age, where fluorescent lights dull the stars and noise buries silence, this ancient doorway has been all but forgotten. Until now. In this video, you'll be guided through the first true steps of lucid dream navigation. Not just how to realize your dreaming, but how to approach this inner cosmos as a spiritual explorer. We'll uncover the hidden teachings of dream control, the philosophical mysteries behind dream logic, and why lucid dreams may hold the key to unlocking higher states of awareness in waking life. You'll learn why some traditions feared this knowledge, why others guarded it like treasure, and how you can begin to reclaim it, starting tonight. So, if you've ever had a moment in a dream where the world bent, but your mind sharpened, or you questioned what was real, you've already glimpsed the edge of a hidden map. Before we dive in, if you're ready to start talking to the universe and actually get answers, not fluff, but real, grounded connection, grab my ebook titled 5 Ways to Talk to the Universe and Actually Get an Answer. No BS. Link is in the description and the bio. It's the perfect companion for seekers like you. Now, take a breath. Let's unfold it together. Long before psychology gave us clinical definitions for dreams, long before REM cycles and neurotransmitters became household terms, there were dream temples. In ancient Egypt, priests of the Temple of Serapis performed sacred sleep rituals, incubation rites where initiates would lay in stone chambers, fasting and praying, waiting for dreams to reveal divine messages. These were not seen as fantasies or hallucinations, but as direct communication from the gods, especially Thoth, the deity of wisdom, time, and hidden knowledge. Meanwhile, in the high peaks of the Himalayas, Tibetan monks practiced dream yoga, an esoteric path within the greater tradition of Tantra. Their goal was not just to become lucid, but to remain aware through all states, waking, dreaming, dying, and beyond. To them, the dream world was not an escape, it was a training ground, a realm where karmic imprints could be resolved and spiritual evolution accelerated. In the Americas, shamans of the Toltec lineage, most famously referenced in the writings of Carlos Castaneda, spoke of the second attention, a lucid state achieved through dreaming that allowed for interdimensional travel, shape-shifting, and communion with spiritual allies. For them, the dream wasn't just a personal experience, it was a shared space, a world within the world, accessible only through intent, discipline, and energy control. Even in early Christianity, mystics and saints recorded visions received in dreams, often interpreting them as angelic visitations or glimpses into heaven and hell. But as institutional religion tightened its grip, dreams were reduced from sacred oracles to dangerous temptations, things to be distrusted, or worse, condemned as heretical. So what happened? The dream, once revered as a sacred bridge between man and the divine, was dismissed, ridiculed, or pathologized. The gates of perception were closed not by nature, but by culture. Yet, despite centuries of suppression, the knowledge persisted in whispered teachings, obscure manuscripts, and oral traditions. The dreamer's path never fully died. It simply went underground, waiting for those bold enough to seek it. Philosophically, lucid dreaming challenges the very framework of what we call reality. When you become conscious inside a dream, and everything feels real, from the texture of a stone to the sound of a voice, how do you know you're dreaming? And more importantly, how do you know you're not? This is a question that haunted thinkers like Plato, who proposed that the world we perceive is only a shadow of the true ideal realm, and the Hindu sages, who taught Maya the illusion of the physical world, argued that waking life is itself a kind of dream. Lucid dreaming, then, becomes more than a skill. It becomes a mirror, a metaphor, a mystical experience that invites you to question the boundaries between worlds, between ego and soul, between what you've been told is real and what your spirit knows to be true. And that is why the ancients guarded this knowledge so closely, because to master dreams is to master reality. Now that we've opened the forgotten pages of history, let's step deeper into the how, into the mechanisms of lucidity, the architecture of dream space, and the role you play as its navigator. To step consciously into a dream is not to escape reality, it is to confront it on a deeper plane. Lucid dreaming is not simply realizing you're dreaming. It is the art of maintaining awareness inside the fluid realm of the unconscious, a place where symbols live, memories breathe, and time bends. And like all great arts, it begins with preparation. Step 1. Remembering you dream. Before you can control a dream, you must first remember that you dream at all. This might seem obvious, but in truth, most people forget their dreams moments after waking. Ancient Egyptian dream initiates were trained to treat dreams like rituals, not fantasies. They kept scrolls near their beds, scribed in the moonlight, and honored every image, no matter how absurd, as a message. So, your first tool is a dream journal, but not just any notebook. You must consecrate it. Hold it before sleep. Whisper into it, "I will remember." This simple act reprograms the mind to become aware of the dream realm. It's like leaving breadcrumbs for your consciousness to follow back into the night. Step 2. The reality glitch. One of the most profound tools in lucid dreaming is the reality check. During waking life, pause and ask, "Am I dreaming?" Look at your hands, count your fingers, push your palm against a wall. If it goes through, you're not awake. This might sound absurd in daylight, but here's the secret. The mind learns by repetition. The more you perform reality checks while awake, the more likely you are to do them in a dream. And when you do, when the wall bends, when your fingers multiply, that's when lucidity sparks. It's like a match striking in the darkness. Everything lights up. You remember, this is not the waking world, but I am here, and I am aware. Step 3. Stabilizing the dream. Here's where most fail. The moment lucidity begins, excitement floods the mind. The world blurs, collapses, or ejects you back into waking life. To remain in the dream, you must anchor yourself. Rub your hands together, spin in a circle, touch the ground. These physical sensations trick your dream body into believing it's stable, helping you stay longer in the realm. This is ancient somatic wisdom, mirrored in Tibetan dream yoga practices, where focus on body sensations stabilizes the subtle form. Step 4. Setting the dream intention. Before sleep, speak your intention aloud. Not a vague wish like, "I want to fly," but a clear command. "Tonight, I will become aware in my dream. I will ask the dream what it wants to teach me." This single act aligns your conscious will with your unconscious landscape. And when your waking intent is strong enough, it pierces the veil. You see, the dream is not random. It's structured like a temple, symbols as pillars, shadows as guardians, emotions as thresholds. When you walk through it with awareness, it transforms from a fog into a map of the soul. And like any sacred map, its first secret is not the destination, but your presence within it. Let's pause here. So far, we've explored the first essential tools: memory, awareness, anchoring, and intention. But the true journey is just beginning. Because beyond the gates of lucidity lie the deeper chambers, the symbolic realms, the dream entities, and the strange paradoxes of dream logic that only the prepared mind can navigate. In Part 2, we'll uncover those mysteries. We'll explore how time functions differently in dreams, how to speak with your subconscious, and why certain figures appear again and again, watching you, guiding you, or testing you. The question is no longer, can you dream lucidly? It is, what will you do once you're awake inside the dream? You've entered the dream with awareness. The world around you breathes like a living painting, vibrant, yet unstable. But now, the real work begins not with flying or conjuring castles, but with listening, because in dreams everything speaks. The walls have memories, the sky holds emotion, and the people you meet may not be people at all. The architecture of symbolic space. Lucid dreamers quickly learn that dreams are not random. They are architected spaces, designed not by logic, but by resonance. Every object, location, or entity you encounter is a symbol, an energetic mirror reflecting something within you. Walk through a crumbling library in a lucid dream. It might represent forgotten knowledge, a locked door in a hallway, a repressed memory, a glowing child leading you through fire, perhaps your inner self guiding you through trauma. But here's where the paradox begins. Symbols are alive. Unlike static metaphors in waking life, dream symbols can interact. You can ask the crumbling library, "What do you represent?" And if you truly listen, it will answer, not in words, but in sensation, emotion, or unfolding scene. This is what ancient mystics called archetypal communication. Carl Jung called it the collective unconscious. Indigenous shamans knew it as communion with the spirit world. And in lucid dreaming, you have direct access to this hidden language of the soul. Time, space, and the plasticity of consciousness. In the dream realm, time behaves like breath. One moment stretches into hours. A single blink might rewind an entire scene. This is because time in dreams is not linear. It is emotional. If you enter a dream with fear, scenes will compress, distort, rush you through. If you enter with presence, they open, expand, reveal. This is why Tibetan dream adepts meditate for hours before sleep, not just for discipline, but to shift their emotional frequency. Because in the dream world, your emotional tone becomes your compass. Space is equally fluid. A hallway might stretch forever. A door might open into a childhood memory, a past life, or an impossible world. Understanding this flexibility is crucial, because it means the dream is not confined to your subconscious. It may be connected to something larger. In some lucid experiences, dreamers have accessed shared dream spaces, mutual realms, entered by multiple people simultaneously. Others report conversations with entities who seem autonomous, not generated by memory. Who are they? Projections, guides, or intelligences from subtler dimensions? The mystics never gave a definitive answer, only clues. Discern through vibration, they would say. If it evokes fear, step back. If it evokes stillness, you're on the path. Recurring entities and dream beings. One of the most mysterious aspects of lucid dreaming is the appearance of recurring figures. They might look like an old friend, a teacher, or a complete stranger, but they return. They watch. Sometimes they speak. In Toltec shamanic dreaming, these beings are known as the allies. In Jungian terms, they may represent animus or anima, parts of our deeper psyche. But some dreamers encounter entities who seem to possess independent awareness, beings that offer knowledge the dreamer did not previously have. One dreamer reported being handed a book in a lucid dream. Upon waking, he found the text mirrored an ancient scripture he had never read. Another described meeting a hooded figure who gave her an unfamiliar symbol, one she later discovered in a forgotten sigil system. Are these divine messengers, aspects of the higher self, or fragments of a multidimensional reality only glimpsed in dreams? No one can say with certainty. But in lucid dreaming, truth is not proven, it is experienced. And the deeper you go, the more the dream world begins to bleed into waking life. Synchronicities increase, symbols follow you. You may even begin to question which state is the dream and which is the awakening. Lucid dream navigation is not just a skill, it is a calling, a spiritual practice, a return to the sacred inner wilderness modern life has tried to pave over. And now that you know the map moves with you, the only question is, will you keep going? You've heard the history, you've glimpsed the mystery, but now what do you do? The first steps in lucid dream navigation begin before sleep. They begin with preparation of the temple, and in this case, the temple is your mind. 1. The sacred journal ritual. Lucid dreaming starts with memory. Your ability to become aware in dreams is directly tied to how well you remember them. Place a dedicated journal next to your bed. Before sleep, open to a blank page. Write a simple phrase at the top. Tonight, I enter the dream world with awareness. This sets your intention, the first vibration you send into the inner realms. As soon as you wake, before touching your phone, before speaking a word, record everything. No detail is too small. Colors, faces, emotions, even fragments. This trains your brain to treat the dream world as significant, thereby activating recall. Over time, this practice alone begins to awaken your inner observer. 2. The reality check method. Next, you'll weave awareness into your waking life. Throughout the day, perform reality checks at least 5-10 times daily. Ask aloud or mentally, am I dreaming? Try pressing your finger into your palm in dreams, it may pass through. Looking at a clock, looking away, and looking back in dreams. Numbers often change. Counting your fingers in dreams, they may multiply or appear distorted. Why does this matter? Because the mind loves habit. If you ask this question often during waking life, it will begin to surface in dreams, and when it does, you'll realize you're dreaming. This is your doorway. 3. The wake back to bed technique. This ancient yet modernized technique drastically increases lucid dream chances. Here's how. Set your alarm for 5-6 hours after falling asleep. Wake, stay up for 15-30 minutes. Read about lucid dreaming. Reaffirm your intent. Then return to sleep with a mantra like, I will recognize that I'm dreaming. This interrupts your sleep cycle at the perfect stage when REM sleep and vivid dreaming is most active. Many lucid dreams begin here. 4. Anchoring and stabilizing. Once lucidity hits, don't rush. First, stabilize. Ground your awareness. Try rubbing your dream hands together, touching the floor or an object, saying aloud, clarity now. This tells the dream you are present, and it responds by becoming sharper, more vivid. Remember, emotion destabilizes. Joy, fear, excitement. These can eject you. Breathe deeply. Observe. Don't react. Stay still, like a monk in meditation. 5. Spiritual navigation. When stable, you can. Ask a dream character. What do you represent? Walk through doors with intention. Behind this door is guidance. Look to the sky and ask a question aloud. Show me what I need to see. The dream will respond. Maybe not how you expect, but it always responds. You're not creating the dream. You're collaborating with it. Lucid dreaming isn't about control. It's about communion. These exercises are ancient in spirit and modern in application, a bridge between worlds. And with time, the veil between dreaming and waking thins. You'll begin to feel the dream even while awake. And that's when true transformation begins. Start tonight. Choose one technique. Treat it as sacred. Honor the journey, because your soul has waited lifetimes to remember how to fly inward. Every night, as the world quiets and your body surrenders to sleep, A portal opens. Most walk through it blindly, but a few those who remember, who observe, who choose step into it awake. They become navigators of the inner cosmos, voyagers of the subconscious sea. And now, you've taken your first steps toward becoming one of them. You've learned the foundations, the dream journal as your grimoire, reality checks as your incantations, intention as your compass, and lucidity as the flame that lights the way. But more importantly, you've glimpsed the truth hidden behind the technique, that the dream world is not a figment, it's a reflection, that every symbol, every shadow, every whisper in the dream is you, disguised in divine clothing. The ancients knew this. That's why they guarded this knowledge. Because to navigate your dreams is to begin unraveling the illusion of waking life. You start to see how fluid reality is, how consciousness is the true architect behind both worlds. So now, the invitation is yours. Tonight, when your head touches the pillow, don't just fall asleep, fall inward. Ask yourself, not, will I dream, but what message awaits me? And when you wake, record, reflect, repeat. Let the practice become your ritual. Let the veil grow thinner with each passing night, because lucid dreaming is not the end goal. It is the door to something far older, to forgotten memories, to spirit allies, to dimensions that have waited eons for your return. And the question you must ask now is, when you next find yourself in a dream, fully aware, what will you choose to do with that awareness? Will you fly? Will you seek? Will you ask the dream to show you your soul? The map has been placed in your hands. Where it leads is entirely up to you. And if you're ready to take this even deeper, to open a real dialogue with the universe itself, I've created something just for you. 5 ways to talk to the universe and actually get an answer. No BS. This isn't fluff. It's grounded, practical magic you can begin using tonight. You'll find it in the description and in the bio. Trust me, your higher self has been waiting for this. If this journey stirred something within you, let me know in the comments. Share your first lucid dream, or your last, or the question you're waiting to ask when the dream begins. Subscribe if you're ready to keep walking this path into deeper mysteries, ancient truths, and the hidden architecture of reality. Until then, keep dreaming, but never again unconsciously.